South Africa, where the South African state-owned airport operator is asking for government bailout as the business is seriously affected by the outbreak of the COVID-19. Like many other sectors, the airport industry has been greatly affected during the country's lockdown to curb the spread of the virus. The management expressed worry about the situation, prompting it to call on the government to pay their new loans to enable them to go back to normal operations. Let's have more details of that in this report.
Aviation is one of the sectors that have been hardest hit by the coronavirus outbreak, and that sector's financial health and stability depends on air passenger volumes. The Airports Company South Africa, or ACSA, is a state-owned entity that manages South Africa's 9 biggest airports. Those include OR Tambo International in Gauteng, Cape Town International in the Western Cape, and King Shaka International Airport in KwaZulu-Natal. The national lockdown, which began on the 26th of March, has had a number of major effects on ACSA. All domestic and international flights have been cancelled. The only activity has been the repatriation of foreign nationals from South Africa and the repatriation of South Africans abroad.
ACSA is not different from the rest of other companies that were hit by this coronavirus. And I guess with the airline industry being at halt at the moment, it is very much in the same line with everybody else in the industry. So I guess they are proactive and they are predicting that there wouldn't be any frequent transport that would be moving in between countries and domestic and regional as well.
ACSA is one of the struggling state-owned companies that rely heavily on government bailouts. Critics often point out that the bailouts are a strain to the public finances. The entity says it needs up to 11 billion rand in government guarantees over the next 5 years in order to obtain bank loans to continue operating.
With regard to the airlines that are operating in South Africa, we know they are battling, the biggest being South African Airways, and then the second one that is also under business rescue is Comair. And you would realize that the possibility that those airlines coming to start flying may not happen immediately, may take a little bit of time. So that will take a bit of a knock on their operations because these are their permanent clients that ACSA have. And surely it is proactive steps that they are trying to do to protect the business and make sure that ACSA is a viable business going forward.
Although ACSA expects that it would be able to repay loans once flight operations start to expand again, it foresees that banks will not be willing to lend it money at the moment unless the loans are backed by some form of government guarantee.
If they were to look at acquiring funds, they probably better off going to the BRICS Bank because, as you know, South African economy has been, the rating agencies have been downgraded South Africa. So chances of going to the lenders and ask for money, chances are very much slim.
The company is still evaluating its options to ensure cash preservation. There will be no recruitment for the next 3 months. No incentive bonuses will be provided for, and only essential expenditure for the year will be allowed.